Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to take a look at the Matricom Q3 Android TV box. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, I have reviewed lots and lots of Android TV boxes on the channel, but here's one thing that has me really excited about the Q3, and that is that it's running the latest version of Android. And yep, you heard that. I'm talking Android Nougat version 7.1, and it's the full version of it. And the significance of that for all of us is the fact that having the latest operating system not only gives you access to all the latest programs and apps that are available on the Google Marketplace without exception, but it also means that this box has all the most recent security fixes and patches. And frankly, that's what you run into when you start using some of these older boxes that have Android 4. And I'm telling you, yeah, there's still a lot of Android 4 boxes out there. So having the most current version of the operating system is not only going to give you the best possible experience when viewing content, but it's also going to give you a secure experience. So let's go ahead and check and see what's inside. So in the box, you pretty much have everything you need to start up and use this box immediately right out of the box itself. So for example, you have your HDMI cable. You do have the batteries for your remote, and I've reviewed a lot of products that don't have batteries. The power cord, which you expect, the remote control, and then what you have here is your G box. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the box and the specs. So first of all, I have to say that the box is very small. So here's my hand so you can see how small it is. Very, very small, and it's also very lightweight. It does have an SD expansion slot here, and remember, if you do get, for example, a micro SD, they do come with those adapters that you can just slide in, and typically those come included with those devices. On this side, you do have two USBs. So you can see that right there, and this is great for expanding storage or for just loading any kind of media that you may have. HDMI connection as well. You do have Ethernet capabilities here, so you can plug this in straight through. You do have a reset button, looks like right here. You have your power, and you have optical out. So on this side, there isn't really anything there. If we flip this over, you'll notice that you do have just venting that's going on right here and some nice little rubber feet. Now, for those of you who are interested in the specs, let's just zoom in here for a second so you can see what's going on here. So again, as you can see, the dimensions of the box, it's very small. It is using a quad-core processor running at 2 gigahertz. It does have a GPU as well, and the significance of that is one is to run programs and the other one is to improve on graphic performance. So you do have not a quad-core but a pentacore graphics card that is, or GPU, that is going to process up to 750 megahertz. It does have 2 gig of memory, that's for processing, 16 gig of flash storage, right? But you can connect an external drive, and that's, you saw those USB ports. Again, the thing that stands out with this specific unit is the fact that it has Android Nougat 7.1. You do have Wi-Fi capabilities, and you notice that it does support 5G, which is really important because that's going to give you a wider bandwidth when it comes to speeds. Bluetooth 4.0. Right? You do have a Ethernet connection that is going to be 10100, and then you see all the different ports. So we talked about, you have the SD, SDH, MMC. You have lots of options when it comes to expandability, and then also from audio output. And then you have that standard remote that you would see very similar with devices like this. So, the remote itself, we didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it's pretty standard. So very much as you look at Fire TV type remote and a lot of these remotes where they have the navigation and the OK button here with volume controls, and then the ability for it to be a mouse as well. So everything you need in order to start using the G-Box. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the setup experience. The setup experience is really unique. I find that it walked me through the entire process in order to set up this box, starting with this remote. And the neat thing about this remote is that it's not a line of sight remote. It's actually a Bluetooth remote. And so that means you don't have to point it at the box for it to work. As long as you're within the Bluetooth signal reach, it's going to work for you. So that's pretty nice. It went through the configuration of the screen, just making sure that I had the right dimensions so that everything would fit nicely. I also have the ability to connect my mouse to it because I just find that I just like being able to navigate a lot faster using the mouse, and that's why you see a pointer here. On the top here, you see some nice controls that are telling you about what components are enabled. So you'll see that you have this little box around Wi-Fi and box around Bluetooth, and it's saying that because obviously I have this remote which is connected via Bluetooth and I'm connected via Wi-Fi. All right, so let's look at the screen itself and some of the layout here that you have in some of the controls. First of all, you do have home, and you'll notice that you have Facebook, Kodi, several programs here, even a store that's proprietary to Matricom, but you also have the Google Play Store as well, as you'll see in a second. You do have your YouTube videos in this area. You can add that obviously here, so you have the Film on TV, Hulu, Netflix, and then Tube iTV. Music, you can see Pandora, Spotify, Deezer, SoundCloud. You have apps here, and you notice that this is where you have YouTube, but you can bring it into any of these categories where you find it to be fit. Gaming capabilities with two different stores that you can go to. You can go into live TV, and there's several that you have here, and then you can go into your themes here, and your themes is going to allow you to change the look of your box to whatever you would like. I kind of like this theme right here. This is pretty nice. So let's take a look at the apps now. Now, one thing to highlight about the experience is that as you go through each one of these sections and you see these placeholders for applications, you'll notice right here that you have Film on TV, Hulu, Netflix, and Tubi TV. When you go into the apps area, you notice that you don't see the corresponding applications there, with the exception of Netflix, and that's because these are only placeholders. So if I go into videos, for example, let's go home for a second. I'll choose Kodi. Once you double click on it, it's going to take you to the Google Play Store to install Kodi. So this box doesn't come with any what I would consider bloatware, because all you have are really shortcuts. So you can actually choose what experience you're looking for, like what do you want to have on the box versus what you don't. I think that's also a really good option, because I've looked at other Android type boxes, and they have all this stuff that I don't really care for, and then the things that I care about, I want it installed. Now we'll go ahead and click on YouTube here for a second, and you'll notice that YouTube did launch, and that relates to the fact that YouTube was also found in that app section as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of the applications, how they work. So I'm not going to go into every single thing. Let's go ahead into Kodi just so that you can get a sense of how fast the actual box is. So I'm going to double click to go in, and this is the startup process. I've already launched it once so that it went through the initial setup, but this gives you kind of a sense of what the speed looks like. Navigation is pretty quick. I don't have any add-ons installed. For those of you who don't know what Kodi is, it's a media center application, and it has a lot of content that you can actually gain access to. So let's shut it off just to see how long does it take to shut down, and you saw how fast that was. I also went ahead and under live TV installed Crackle. So let's start up Crackle. So I'm going to double click on that, and here is Crackle. Let me get rid of that. So this is the content that's available on Crackle. So I had been streaming some stuff. So let's go ahead and try. Sure, why not? Let's check out Underworld here. Now, again, all this is about is giving you a sense of how the content performs. So here is a actual ad that's coming up. You saw there wasn't much latency there at all for the startup, and the overall quality is actually really good. This is on a 1080p monitor or television, so you can get a sense of what's going on here. So let's see if, I can probably fast forward a little bit with Crackle. So let's go ahead and move ahead to see how quickly it catches up. Now some of this is going to be app-based as well, but you can see here the kind of performance that we're getting and the overall quality, which is, again, really, really good. Now, because this is running the most current version of Android, you will notice that I have here, when I exit out of it, it still shows a little app window on the side, which is what you would expect from some of the newer versions of Android. Now, since this is running a full version of Android, when you come up here to the top, you do have your toggles. So you can see all your toggles right here that would apply the network that you're connected to, the mode that you're in, if Bluetooth is connected or not. If we go into the settings area, you're going to see a very familiar area that talks about your settings. And again, you have a modern and up-to-date OS, which to me is one of the most significant things out there. And here you see that operating system version, Android 7.1.8. So there you have it. Very functional box. Great for watching and consuming media. Pretty much it's a la carte, so install what you want to see. If you want to, if you're a Netflix user and you're interested in watching Netflix, go for it. Install Netflix on it. You can see this is the standard version of Netflix, and this is loading for the very first time. So if you have an account, you can go ahead and use that. You can pretty much install Hulu. You can install HBO Go. You name it, Sling TV, and you'd be able to get that content on this media center. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you was gaming options on the box itself. So we're going to start up Asphalt 8. It's something that I already installed just to give you a sense of the startup process, how long it's going to take after it's been configured, and what can you expect. Now, because this is running full Android, you are going to be able to connect a Bluetooth I would say controller, very similar to the ones that you have in Xbox. And what you'll find is, the overall experience is, really positive. I'm going to raise the volume a little bit on this so that we can get the full effect. You'll get some of that through the mic. And, here we have our vehicle. You can see the kind of graphics that are coming through. Everything seems pretty smooth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my car. And I'm going to, I think everything else here looks good. So I can go ahead and, again, navigate, look at, different cars that I can buy. I can just say, that's too much of a car for me right now, so I can't afford that one. So we're going to go back to the first one. And let's see what it looks like from a gameplay perspective. So now to start off the game, I'm just going to go ahead and hit play. I said, no, I'm not going to learn about the racing tutorial. Going to choose this season. It's downloading 750 meg in order to start. This is good, I think, for you to see how fast they can update or bring down that content in order for this game to start. This is going to vary from application to application, but as you know, games that are graphic intensive like this one here do require these downloads. So it's, as you can see here by the speed, it's doing a really decent job. This is going to vary based on your network as well. So the faster your internet connection, obviously, and the bandwidth that you have, the faster this content is going to come down. All right, so this is the game actually starting, so you can see what the performance is of the graphics card. It's doing a decent job. Here's my car. We're not going to go through the full gameplay, but I just wanted to give you a sense so you can see what was going on here. So that was the gaming aspect of the box. Primarily, I would say that this is really great for media content consumption. That was a pretty intensive game when it comes to downloading content, streaming, and then also graphics. Over here, I just wanted to show that the box does light up. Love the little G, the way it glows really nicely. And overall, the footprint is really, really small. So this concludes my review of the Matricom Android TV box running the latest version of Android. If you have any comments or questions about this product, leave it in the comment area below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And as always, don't forget to share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.